All right, KTC, it is time to look at the 2024-2025 Annual Plan. Now, if you're brand new to the club, this is something I do around this time every year. Kind of look at what worked last year, what didn't work so well, make some tweaks, and hopefully make this the best season possible. Now, I've been working on this actually all summer, so I had a little bit more time to kind of take a step back, look at the plan from a higher level, and I'm really excited about next year. I think this is going to be the best training season yet, if you decide to keep training. So I really focused on 5 specific elements while I was developing the plan. The first one, and I would say most important, is to minimize the risk of injury or lower your risk of injury. It kills me when you get injured. And I'd like to say it's part of the sport. It is avoidable to an extent, but it does require a lot of focus on listening to the signals that your body is telling you and knowing when to push and when to back off. Now, from a plan's perspective, to support that, I spent a lot of time this year looking at the training stress progression. So the time and intensity and how that builds through the year and making sure that we're not building too quick, not building too slow. Now, again, that also means that you need to manage that. If you jump in, say, February or March, you're going to be in a lot different situation than if you actually start at the beginning of the program, which is October, and we actually progress nice and smooth the way through. I've also put a lot of emphasis on strength, stability, I should say stability to start. Make sure all those joints are stable enough to handle the load that you're about to apply. Then we start bringing in different aspects like mobility, flexibility, and strength. And that component together will support all the swim, bike, and run that we're going to layer on farther out. I've also really focused on phasing in the intensity to making sure that your body is ready for those high intensity efforts when we get there. Assuming, again, that you're joining somewhere in the fall, hopefully October, I'll say that over and over again, and not jumping into the program in January, February, March is too late. So, injury prevention, priority 1. Improve performance. Some of you want to do better. Hopefully, I have programmed the workouts and structured them in a way that is going to optimize the time you're spent training and, again, give you the best performance possible come race day, which kind of goes hand in hand with maximizing your time for training. We don't all have 20, 30 hours to train, so getting the biggest bang for the buck out of the time that you can put in was also paramount. It is flexible, so this program, you should be able to move things around to meet your needs, as well as meet your body's needs. As I've already mentioned, you need to listen to your body so you know when to push and know when to pull back. No different than following a training plan. The worst thing you can do is follow it to a T. You should be able to flex and move things around based on, again, what your body's telling you and what you need at any particular time. As well, one size does not fit all is what I'm trying to say. Some of you have late season races, some of you have early season races. So to be able to peak at different times, again, you need to be able to flex that around. And through the Training Peaks application, having access to the entire program and being able to personalize it for yourself, which I will show you how to do, is incredibly beneficial, and you have that ability. And the last component is just fun. Hopefully the variability in the workouts, the interval structures, the integration with technology like your smartwatches, your bike computers, Zwift, etc. Will keep you engaged and keep it fun. And of course, training with us fun people is an added benefit as well. So in terms of the training season, I'll say I've broken the season down into different phases. The first phase is the training season, and that's going to be the 8 months from October to May. So that is going to encompass pretty much all the build up until race season. So we're going to go through a transitional phase in October. November, December, January will be really focused on building base, where we do a lot of that injury prevention work, setting, again, a stable foundation for which you're going to then layer on your training when we get into, the meat and potatoes of it. And then, of course, the build phase as we get ready to, race. Finishing off with a nice peak out, and we get ready to smash some early season May-June races. We'll then kind of navigate through the summer phase, which I'll call the race season. That's going to be the 4 months from June to September. That's a little trickier because we have all these different races in there, so it's not going to be, following a 3-week on, 1 week off. There's going to be quite a bit of variability in there, hitting most of the local type races that we do around here. And of course, if you're doing anything outside that race schedule, then you'll need to do some adjusting, or hire a coach and work with them one-on-one, and they can program it for you. So that is how I've broken up the race seasons this year and kind of what it looks like. Not to go into all this detail, but essentially this season, or this is the training season that I have complete. I haven't completed the race season yet. This is generally what we're going to follow, and I will say generally because just like you following a training plan, me as a coach delivering a training plan, sometimes it will morph and change depending on the needs of you. So anyway, this will be our guide, and it may change from time to time. As you know, I like to throw in some audibles to mix you up. But generally for swimming in October, we're going to be starting with some video analysis. If you want video for swimming, join in October. We're going to use that as the setup for all our technical aspects that we're going to focus on all the way through. So pretty much all 3 disciplines, swim, bike, run. We start with technique. You're going to see a couple mentions of setting of zones and getting baselines on everything. I'll explain all that later. Aerobic endurance, so technique, base setting, aerobic endurance. You're going to see a ton of that through the off season. So October, November, December, January. And then once we get into May, June, July, we're going to start seeing the intensity come on a lot more. And we're going to peak out getting ready for race season. Now, strength is going to follow a very similar progression. October, transitional. We're not doing any strength, or I should say we're going to do foundational work, which is primarily going to be stability, including some balance. Then we'll progress that into actual lifting, preparing to lift. So there'll be an adaptation phase, which will then move into max strength, get you strong. Actually, no, sorry, we're doing hypertrophy. We're going to build some muscle. Then we're going to get it strong. Then we're going to start moving into more race-specific strength training where we want some explosiveness happening. So some power, some muscular endurance. We get the plyometrics going. So it will build and progress. You can, again, jump in the program at any point, but I would highly, highly recommend start at the beginning, see it all the way through, do it right, and you're going to have a lot more success than, again, jumping in later on down the road. So that is a very quick overview of what's coming up. Again, I'm not going to go through all the little items there, but as we progress through, I will be talking about why we're doing what we're doing in each phase. And again, if you do kind of trust the process, follow the system through, this is going to allow your body to reset, basically shed last season's training stress and prep for next year. So again, even this time right now, if you've been taking a prolonged period of time off, this would be a great time to re-enter, as it's going to be a little easier. And if you've been just finishing up your race season now, this would be a great time to allow that recovery to happen, go back to basics, and switch it up a little bit. So that is, again, very quick overview of the season plan for 2024-2025. I hope you will join us, and I can't wait to train with you for another year. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.